Joining us now is Ojinika Ojiope with stories trending around the world. Hello, Junix.
You know, I get those comments.
It's Friday.
Joining us now. Yes, it's Friday. It's my best day of the week. How are you this morning? I get those comments all the time. You're just legendary. Good morning, Ayo. How are you, beautiful? Perfect. Good morning, Rufai.
Oro.
You and your Oro festival. We have a long chat.
We need to probe him.
Yes. Well, it's not funny, actually.
No, a woman cannot be Oro.
No, wait, I think he was just mentioning the festival, the argument we had about the festival.
You know why I mentioned Oro?
Yes, tell me.
Because people have now started doing it in the afternoon. As we speak, there's also an Egungun festival going on around Jakondi, which is wrong to scare people.
Unacceptable.
So I might talk about it in a funny way, but it is wrong what is going on now. And the security authorities have not been able to stop it or nip it in the bud.
Absolutely
this is wrong.
Unacceptable. Well, I hope we get a good Friday and a good
festival is usually
election
in the
tomorrow.
afternoon
Yeah.
Anyway,
however, using it for political purposes is
what is wrong.
Is what is deplorable, condemnable.
We do not accept
Oro. If Oro comes out in the afternoon, that would be funny.
Absolutely.
Except there is a major crisis in the community.
Absolutely. Well, all right. Happy Friday to you, viewers, and good morning. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In Nigeria, one day to the governorship and House of Assembly elections, civil society organizations have called on the Independent National Electoral Commission to deliver free, fair, and credible elections in the wake of the controversial presidential election and declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect. The Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress, in a meeting on Thursday, said, contrary to claims by the opposition, the presidential election was transparent and it is unfair for a section of the media to describe the election as fraudulent.
We made bold to say that the 2023 presidential election is the most credible, most free, most fair national election in Nigeria since 1999.
In Iran, a group of teen girls who shared a video dancing to Nigerian Afrobeat star Remas Calm Down were reportedly detained by Iranian forces and pressured into apologizing for the act. The dance video, released last Wednesday on International Women's Day, went viral on social media. The women were seen without headscarves, which is required for all females in the country.
Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, you put in my heart for lockdown, for lockdown.
Honor Sports. Gianni Infantino has been re-elected, unopposed, as FIFA president for another 4-year term in office. The election took place at the FIFA Congress held in Kigali, Rwanda on Thursday, and Infantino won by acclamation since no formal vote was required as there were no opposing candidates. His new term will run from 2023 to 2027. Under entertainment, DJ Cuppy, daughter of Nigerian billionaire businessman Femi Otedola, set social media abuzz after posting photos announcing that she has bagged her 3rd degree and 2nd master's from the University of Oxford in the United Kingdom. The 30-year-old DJ, who has been celebrated as one of the pioneer female DJs out of Africa, is known for her unique sound, which she describes as neo-Afrobeats. Her graduation ceremony was held at the Sheldonian Theatre in Oxford and was attended by her parents, family members, and her fiancé, Ryan Taylor. Finally, Nigerian Grammy Award-winning Afrofusion star Burna Boy is set to co-headline the highly anticipated 2023 UEFA Champions League final kickoff show in Istanbul, Turkey. UEFA made the announcement on its official Twitter page, urging fans to tune in to watch the must-see performance at Istanbul's Atatürk Olympic Stadium on June 10th, 2023.
Hello everyone, this is Burna Boy and I got some big news. I'll be performing at the UEFA Champions League final kickoff show by Pepsi. And you can get involved if if you have ball skills like Leah or dance skills like Vinny. Come on, let's go!
Well, let's begin what's trending. In the wake of conversations surrounding the heritage of candidates in the gubernatorial election in Lagos State, the chairman of the Lagos State Parks Management Committee, Musiliu Akinsoya, also known as MC Oluomo, in a viral video on Thursday warned Igbos in the state who will not vote for the All Progressives Congress to stay at home on election day. MC Oluomo made the comment while addressing supporters of the APC at a meeting. He also condemned Igbos, stating that if any one of them becomes governor, they would use offsprings of the Yorubas for ritual purposes. Let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
Please, if you don't want to vote for us, please sit down for sit down for thank you very much. I got the Yorùbá wa tó máa tètè dìbẹ́ láàárọ̀ kí ògo Yorùbá wa kọ́kọ́ ṣe kí ni àkọ́kọ́ dìbò tán. Tàbá wá dìbò tán, káàmà òwòrán yìí pé a ti bẹ̀yìn sọ pé ẹ ti gbọ́. Tàbá ti ṣe mistake, ó má ti yé yín. Tẹ̀sí ní pé mistake ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀pẹ́ ilẹ̀ ní ìdìlọ́wọ́ ó ti yé yín. Súnà ọmọ yìí lọ, káwọn pẹ̀lú ọmọ yìí bò lọ ń pàdé. Tí ọmọ yìí àti ọmọ yìí bò bá jà sùn yẹn tó bá yẹ pé yìí bò lè jẹ gọ́ọ̀nà. Tí ọ̀bá gbá yìí tí ọmọ yìí wálé kẹ̀kẹ́ lọ́mọ ni. Ẹ̀yin ló sọ́jà lọ́rajà. Bàbá mú ọmọbìnrin ẹ̀dá ní ọ̀nà sí Èkó àgọ́tọ̀ sálábà. Láyé ìgbà tí ọmọ yẹn.
This has caused a lot of outrage. I'll take some reactions. This is from Agaji, who wrote, if anything happens to the good people of Lagos State and voters that intend to vote out bad governance, MC Oluomo should be held responsible, and the governor. It is disheartening that the Nigerian police and the DSS will see this and turn a blind eye. Security should be beefed up at polling units. Well, another tweet there goes, the Igbos are being disrespected and provoked unnecessarily. The security apparatus will be held responsible should anything happen to the Igbos in Lagos. The footprints are all over the state. Well, Joseph wrote, nobody is above the law. Why is this man allowed to freely threaten people and nothing is done? We were promised free, fair election by this government. Is this election free and fair? Well, in the meantime, many people were injured, others robbed, and property destroyed when thugs suspected to be working for the All Progressives Congress attacked supporters of the Labour Party in Surulere. Let's take a look.
This is Bodetomo's Junction, where we are about going out for our rally. The area boys came, fought everybody, and started attacking everybody. They were armed with weapons, guns, knives. They came to the eatery, break everything, break the plasma, injure some people.
I have reached here. From here, they carry my bag, my phone, collecting everything.
Oh my God.
What do I do?
They have removed everything from her. They collected all our phones. We were about taking off our rally for constituency 1, Surulere. It's better we have security, so we are ready to work. Look at the vehicle. Look at the DJ.
They took his laptop.
Took all the laptops.
Took laptops.
Break the vehicle. Look at it. Area boys came that they were sent by APC government to disrupt every movement by Labour Party. Look at the woman.
They serve people. Some people
Serve a
are
lot
not.
of people.
Tomorrow is election day, Dr. Abati, and we are beginning to see this type of threat happening in Lagos State. This is completely unacceptable. I thought to highlight this story to call attention to the authorities. Dr. Abati.
Well, you have this reign of impunity. Some persons projecting themselves as if they are above the law because of the failure of the Nigerian state to enforce its own laws. You ask the question, what has given Musiliu Akinsanya, that's his name, popularly known as MC Oluomo, the confidence to engage in that kind of ethnic profiling, promotion of hate speech, intimidation, issuing threats at a public forum? And then he does so confidently, and as we sit here, nobody has heard that he has been picked up by the security agencies to come and explain.
Exactly.
What gives him the audacity to threaten Igbos in Lagos? He is the Lagos State Parks Management Committee chairman, okay? So he's also in a way guilty of inciting people to violence and hate. And there is an enabling law for this election. The Electoral Act 2022. Section 128 of it says you cannot threaten people in this election. If you do it in any form, you are entitled to a fine of 100,000 or imprisonment for 3 years. Section 127 talks about undue influence. So it's on the surface of it, by this evidence, maybe provided by a citizen, journalist at the event, he has already indicted himself. But will anybody touch him? Is he not untouchable in the eyes of the law? To tell Igbos, Mama Chukwudi, not to come out to come and vote. Mama Chukwudi, Mama Chinedu, they are all, citizens of Nigeria. They have the right to vote. So for anybody to intimidate them and say you must not come out, something will happen to you is wrong. And why profile Igbos to say if an Igbo man becomes governor in Lagos State, if your children go to school, they will slap them. If they go to the market, they will harass the girls, and they may even use your children for rituals.
Unacceptable.
In a state that has a government.
Unacceptable.
This is something else.
Yes.
Beyond this, the second video, which also made the rounds yesterday. LP supporters being attacked by thugs, prevented from going to, do their last-minute campaigns. And nobody, up to this moment, we have not heard that anybody had been arrested. There was theft, there was violence, there was intimidation, there was harassment. The suspicion is that tomorrow may even be a more violent day in Lagos. And that is why the security agencies must be reminded that they have their work cut out for them. The security agencies that will be on the ground tomorrow should see incidents like this as a wake-up call. And it is not too late yet to call MC Oluomo and his supporters to order that nobody should arrest either Mama Chinedu or Mama Osaboye tomorrow because they want to vote in Lagos, where they live, where they pay tax, and where they are legitimate citizens who should be part of this.
All we are calling for is free, fair, and credible elections. I mean, we have seen many reports. The latest is a young woman named Amarachi Amadi. I got, news that she actually died after she found out that the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi did not win the election. If you can pull up her picture, I just thought I should highlight the story. She starved herself to death. This was just completely unacceptable. We need to make sure that our Nigerians are safe. This is such a really sad story. Well, we'll take another story. There's been an update on the story of the schoolgirl from Odomola Junior Secondary School who was sent home from school for wrapping her school books with a poster of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. The principal of the school allegedly sent the student, Miss Marvelous, home to campaign for Peter Obi against the wish of Lagosians. Well, a video now circulating on social media revealed that the schoolgirl was allegedly selling the posters to her fellow students for 50 naira. Let's take a look.
So this is what you want to learn this morning, Abi? Let me see your own. Let me see what you are ramping with. Who gave it to you? Huh? She gave it to you free. Then how did you get it from her? Huh? How much? Selling poster 15 naira in the school. Hey! Wahala no dey finish. Let me see your own. Who give you?
Marvelous.
Huh?
Marvelous.
Marvelous. She gave you free.
I buy it.
You bought it. How much?
15 naira.
15 naira. So who gave it to you? Let me see your face. Don't cover your face. Huh?
Marvelous.
Marvelous gave it to you. She dash you free.
I buy it.
You bought it. For how much?
6.15 naira.
She sold 6 for 15 naira to you. How much?
Well, I thought it was important to highlight both sides of the story. I mean, there will be more to come with the investigation that the Ministry of Education is conducting at the moment. But Rufai, I believe you have
good
your
one,
view.
Audrey, for the sake of balance. But
Yes.
two things. I want us to forensically analyze that video. If that video was released after the incident, could it be that students were coerced to do that video? And I know why I said that. Because that video was released after the incident. Secondly, it doesn't negate what was said earlier on. What was said earlier on was that this child should go home because of our support for Peter Obi.
Against the wish of
the Lagosians. So how do they know the wish of Lagosians in the first place? And secondly, let's be very truthful to ourselves in this country. Doing this also violates the Child Rights Act of privacy of those children. To be able to prove a point, what are our educational system even becoming in the first place? And if the child brought a poster to school, had the Peter Obi elections not finished before the child brought the poster to school?
Exactly.
We should also ask, okay, where did the child get it? All right? But the Peter Obi election had finished, so it was of no effect in the first place. That's why I say, let's forensically analyze the video in the first place for the sake of balance. When we forensically analyze the video, then blames can go round. But as far as I'm concerned, nobody should try to hoodwink us away from the fact that what was said against the will of Lagosians. I think the principal needs to tell us the electoral will of Lagosians, since the principal knows the will of Lagosians in this. And we should stop bringing children into politics, because this is another case of violating the rights of those children into politics. Absolutely. I saw how the posters were even spread across board, every children have it and everything. This is not in defense of Marvelous. But let's stop bringing children into politics in the first place. Because if we want to balance this out, there was an assembly hall where a principal told everybody to go and vote a certain party.
All right, let's talk more on child rights. I would love for you to discuss both stories as well. We'll take our final story. A recent wedding ceremony in Kano State has sparked nationwide debate and calls for legal reform, as a video of a 60-year-old man marrying an alleged 11-year-old girl went viral on social media. The groom, identified as a local Kano Alaji, has defended his actions, claiming that the marriage was born out of mutual consent. Child marriage remains a contentious issue in Nigeria, where regional disparities and cultural practices have long perpetuated the tradition. The viral video has reignited discussions around child protection, consent, and the need for a unified legal framework in Nigeria, and calls for authorities to investigate this matter. Ayo, I believe you have other reports concerning the story as well.
Yes, so there have been arguments or perhaps debates as to the age of the child. In one report, the suspicion is that she's a lot older than what people had said. Some people had said she was over 20, but in the same vein, please, can you just show the video again? You can see the face of the girl. I mean, like the Commissioner of Police in Kano State, nowadays you cannot tell the age of a human being just by looking at them, because they might be stunted growth. But
yes.
I mean, but this is a serious issue, yes. But because that's how we bring up very unrealistic statements for very serious things. This child marriage, this is not the first time, the second girl, or perhaps the last girl, unfortunately, who will be subjected to child marriage. It is the look on the man's face of satisfaction and perhaps his lack of understanding of the impact of what this is. In Nigeria, the statutory age of marriage is 18 years. However, statistics reveal that child marriage is prevalent in the northwest and in the northeast. In fact, Nigeria has one of the highest numbers of girls who get married before 18 in the world. We are top 20. And in terms of the numbers of under 18 girls who get married, we are number 3 in the world. Nigeria, in terms of legislation, has ratified the Convention on the Rights of a Child of 1991. And we have also signed up to the Sustainable Development Goals, one of which is to end child marriage, forced marriage by 2030. When we see things like this, it speaks to some of the other things we've talked about on this show this morning with regards to impunity because of the lack of enforcement of the law. So I understand that there have been debates around the ratification and the adoption by individual states in Nigeria. However, there have been research around the health impacts, the economic impact of child marriages, especially girls forced against their wish to get married to much older men. On a human side, I don't understand the pleasure that an older man like that would get from a young girl who does not even know her left from her right. It boggles the mind of sane people. But let me not be so extreme, because I know that it's a debate that has run for so long, but I think it's time for the Nigerian state to begin to protect its children, to begin to protect its girls as well.
Absolutely. Well, I wish we had more time on what's trending today, but you know, you hit the nail on the head. We have to protect our children. Well, thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on what's trending. Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you all next week.